Welcome to MSUA's Game Changers Live, where we speak with satellite and mobile connectivity thought leaders about industry trends, new technologies, and share what you need to know about the future of satellite technology. I'm your host, Lisa Dreher, and I'm really excited to introduce our guest today, Tobias Forsell. He is the founder and managing director of Forsway. Welcome to the show, Tobias.
Thank you, Lisa. Super nice to be here and to present our company here and myself.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for making time. Maybe we can start by having you just give us a little bit of background on yourself and Forsway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm Tobias Forsell there. Well, I founded Forsway like almost 15 years ago. And before that, my history and background has been like satellites and the set-top boxes and so on there. I started my career at Nokia doing this type of first digital TV boxes here in Sweden, and that was launched all around the world. And after that, I started up Forsway, had an idea about bringing connectivity out on the countryside of Sweden. That was really the start of the Forsway company there. So yeah, that's a little bit about the background.
That's great. So, what kind of trends are you keeping an eye on right now as it relates to connectivity and?
Yeah, I would say that there are right now there are quite interesting things that happens on the connectivity side, and especially that the areas where we work, that is hybrid connectivity. You can see so many different initiatives, both from satellites but also from other technologies and other environments there, that the initiatives from all around there, that everyone try to find good and smart way to bring better connectivity to all kinds of target groups, everything from the ones that already have really good to the people that doesn't have anything there. And I think we fit into several of those areas actually. So it's a really interesting times now, and we can see several technology shifts, especially in the satellite environment.
Great. So when you look at the role that satellite connectivity has to play in mobile connectivity, what role do you think satellite industry has to play?
Oh yeah, I think it's quite interesting times now, and you see that historically, satellite and mobile technologies has been a little bit separated from each other. That mobile operator thinks only that satellite is expensive, and that's more like general. And satellite company don't really want to go into the mobile sector and so on. That is of course not exactly the truth, but in general, and that's also how when you start to talk to companies that has a history in the telecom sector, that has been like historically very very like complicated to get those two technologies to work. It has not really been a technology thing in my view, but it has been like more of a business and how to get business models work together there. That trend has been that this is moving more and more towards each other there. We from Forsway, we actually started to combine satellite and mobile technologies like 10 years ago, where we had like a solution that basically merged two technologies into one box. But that was probably a little bit too early for its time to do that from more of a commercial side. But now when we see that satellites are more going more towards data services, and you get all these kind of technology shift of high throughput satellites, you have LEO satellites, you already had several initiatives of LEO and MEO, and they are all towards the data services, similar to what you saw on mobile, for going from 2G to 3G to 4G. So that's a little bit on just simplifying the scenario here on satellite and mobile. And I would say that the combination of satellites and mobile technology, but not only that, also fixed lines or DSL or existing technologies. I would say that all technologies can fit together. It's not going to be one specific technology that will be Of course, there will be some that will be a little bit more dominant, but there will definitely be technologies that makes these technology works together.
Fascinating. So when you look at the most significant changes that are coming to the satellite industry in terms of mobile connectivity, what do you see happening over the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I will probably talk a little bit more for us, for Forsway as a company that we work more on connecting the underserved, the people that don't really have any connection or really have something poor. What we see is that satellite comes in as, especially now when we get the high throughput satellites, where the cost for satellite capacity will be much lower, and that makes it affordable for the mass market. And I would say that now is the first times where you could really see that satellite connectivity or satellite broadband will be affordable for the mass market. This has been something that has been mainly for companies and people that has some more money and so on there. But looking at the scenarios where we are right now, there will be a totally different addressable market, and that market is huge. It's still so that there are quite a lot of world's population that don't really have connectivity at all. And what is happening now is that we can combine that with high throughput satellites and even like a poor 2G or 3G connection. We can establish connectivity directly to the customers or the end consumers. But not only that, we can also help improve the mobile base stations that are far out and boost them and give them more capacity to reach out there. So I would say the next coming years will be really, really interesting, and especially when it will be more affordable for people. Yeah.
Great. What do you see as the greatest challenges to delivering a commercial satellite service today?
I think the big challenge is probably to create the message out to the consumers, to how because the consumers actually don't really care whether it's coming from a satellite, from a fiber, or whatever, a cable. They just want to have content. They want to be connected. They want to watch streaming content and so on there. And I think that's really the challenge: how to reach the consumers and give them a user experience that makes them at least somehow confident that this is something that they want. We fully understand that everyone will not have fiber within very long time, and until then we need to find different smart ways on how to do that. And to do that in an affordable way, we always need to look on what do the user wants. Okay, they want to have streaming content. How do we do that? Okay, we can't give them fiber connectivity. Maybe we could do a combination of satellite. We do something that comes over satellite and something that comes over the terrestrial network. Or if we combine satellite and the ADSL, that is something that I can see in number of further developed regions like US and the UK. We have a couple lines already wired all around the country, but people only have like 1 or 2 megabit, and easily you could boost that by combining that with satellites and give 20 megabit, and then you have solved the problem for a certain amount of years where they're just waiting for fiber, and it will not come until maybe 5 years or 10 years from now there. So then these are the things that we could do within the next coming years, already now bridging, give them something in between, at least that is much, much better than what they have today.
Sure. What are some of the criteria that users should be looking for as they consider satellite services?
I would say when people are sort of underserved in a sense that they only have a few few megabit and so on there. And they, of course, if they live on the countryside, if they are a little bit in suburbs and so on there, and if they are used to set up satellite TV services, dishes, parabol dishes. Now I'm talking about the lowest cost alternative, not really the VSAT services. That is, of course, also something that is addressable and for people that has a little bit more money there. But when people have the possibility to install a satellite TV dish and they have a mobile connectivity, it could even be as low as 2G network. Our system can create a connection with an area where they only have voice communication. Only 10 to 15 kilobits per second can give them and then you add a TV dish, and that could give them a connection of maybe a couple of megabit, which means that they can watch YouTube and watching a TV show like this or in the lowest resolution. So it's really going from 0 to something, and that is, yeah, the criteria are fairly low. It basically use existing technologies and combine them in a way that they can get broadband. This is what we work with in several markets at the moment.
Right. In your areas that you're serving, are there multiple options for service providers? And if so, what should people be looking for in their service provider?
Looking at the service provider, what we do in hybrid connectivity is not that common out on the field. There, we are fairly new in the arena. We have recently started to discuss with satellite TV operators, mainly in Asia, but also in Africa, where they can add broadband as an add-on service. Not only broadband or internet connectivity, we can also create, because many of those TV service companies, they have streaming content that they want to reach out. But our system can deliver streaming content to those who don't really have broadband by using this type of asymmetric or hybrid connectivity. So this is something that we work very hard on now to integrate in a number of TV operators especially, but it could also be mobile operators and other ISPs that wants to extend their reach to the customers there. I would say that an hybrid connectivity solutions like ours fits not only with TV operators, also with mobile operators and ISPs in general there. So I would say that we could serve all kinds of operators.
Got it. What is Forsway doing in terms of mobile connectivity, on the move connectivity?
What we have been doing, we believe that this type of technology, what we have, fits very well in the moving vehicles arena. Not that we invented it ourselves, because it was actually customers of ours or partners of ours that took our systems and installed them in yachts, in private jets, and so on there, and suddenly combining a receive-only TV dish in an airplane with an Inmarsat solution, it worked, because our system consists of a hub part and routers that speak to each other, but we could handle two or several technologies and merge them. So they combined it with two satellite technologies, and suddenly they created a connection within an airplane that was like more than 10 times cheaper than anything else. So that started our thinking about can we address that market. So it ended up that we did an European Space Agency project that we called Satellite Assisted 5G for Connected Vehicles. So we just gathered as many buzzwords as possible into one sentence and sent it in. And we are in the middle of that. And next year, we hope that we will have something that can serve, for instance, commuting minibuses in Africa, where you have our box inside. You have a small moving antenna on top, and then we have a software that makes the people either they can address free content, or they can have some pay services there, and a small Wi-Fi access point inside there. So these are the things that we are doing in the connected vehicle side there, and there we combine several mobile links with satellites. So it will be like we have like what you call a SD-WAN software inside that actually combine technologies and route different types of traffic depending on where it fits best, basically. So these are things that we are working on, as well as like edge technology, meaning like how to cache and how to give right content to right person in the most efficient way. That's really what we are trying to do there.
Wow, that's really exciting. When you think about how people can actually go out and learn more about these emerging technologies, what would you recommend that we do if we want to learn more about this?
Well, one is, of course, to reach out to our company and to talk to us there. But furthermore, there is to also talk to our partners that are most of them are like system integrators all around the world. And this is what we are trying to do during COVID times there, when we can't go out and travel, reaching out to system integrators in different countries and different continents there. And some are using our systems to connect schools in the countryside. Some is going to connect buses and so on in the city center with just multicast content that is free, and some are using it for residential purposes there. But definitely they should reach out to us at Forsway, or checking out here at Mobile Satellite User Association and so on there, and just
All right, thanks for the plug there.
yeah.
Are there any other technologies that users should be aware of and starting to learn about right now?
Well, I would say that the whole thinking of combining technologies and is the key here. We see that the LEO satellites are coming fairly quickly here. We believe that this is a perfect thing for our solution to combine with other technologies. I can see that LEO constellations is great, and there will be a lot of satellite capacity, but the ground terminals will be quite expensive, and the driver of the cost here is to how to transmit back to the satellites, and that also consumes quite a lot of effect and energy. And making a hybrid solution where you receive the data over the LEO satellite and use the ground infrastructure, that will probably be the perfect way to address the mass market. As it looks right now, there with the different constellations, they will quickly turn out to be mobile base station servers, serve the mobile backhaul instead, as they have always been in the LEO services there. Which is of course good as well there, because that's also needed, but sometimes that has not really been the target for LEO. And I would say that there will be more radio link systems that are coming, and there will be more and more capacity and reach out to more and more users. But I think that to be able to reach the really underserved, it needs something more. You can't only go from and give the people that has pretty good even higher. You need to reach the people that are really underserved there, and I think that's really where the challenge is.
Great. Well, Tobias, thank you so much for making time to be here today and share your insights with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to be a part of this and to tell a little bit about what Forsway are doing as well.
Great. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to thank the Mobile Satellite Users Association for hosting these sessions, and definitely check out MSUA.org to learn more about our organization, to receive our newsletter, our weekly newsletter that gives you all the latest in satellite technology and news, and then also find out how to become an MSUA member at MSUA.org. And we'll see you next time on MSUA Game Changers Live.
Right.